Hi, Phanessa here. In this video, we are going to crochet the Costo Slouch. So this is the sample that I am going to be making in this video. So this is the adult size. Okay, so you'll need super bulky weight yarn. I used Wool Ease Thick and Quick. It was about 106 yards for the adult, and this is about 11.5 inches tall, and it's about 21 to 22 inch circumference. You'll need 3 different crochet hooks. You need a 9mm crochet hook size N. You'll need a US K. This is 6.5mm. And then a US I 5.5mm. You'll need a tape measure, pair of scissors, tapestry needle, and a stitch marker. All right, let's get started. Okay, so starting with a slip knot, I'm going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're starting at the brim. This is going to be the height of your brim. So we're going to work 1 slip stitch in every stitch across, starting with the second chain. Here's the first, and there's the second. And if you turn, insert your hook into the back humps, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then pull through the loop on your hook. Okay, next stitch, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, and pull through the loop on your hook. Okay, so repeat all the way across. I only have 1 more left. So now I have 3 stitches. You're going to chain 1 and turn. Now we're going to work into the back loops of every stitch. So this is my chain 1. It doesn't count as a stitch. This is the first stitch, second, and third. I only have 3 stitches. So here is typically how you would insert your hook to work a normal stitch. This is the front loop here, and this is the back loop. So we're working into the back loops, and we're going to work 1 slip stitch in every stitch through the back loop. Okay, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, and pull through the loop on your hook. Next stitch, just going through the back loop, work a slip stitch. My last stitch, another slip stitch. Okay, so continue working the last row until you reach the desired circumference. So for this, I worked 49 rows, and I have 5 stitches for my brim. So you want to make sure you end on the same side as your tail, so you'll have an odd number of rows. Okay, go ahead and repeat that. So I have an odd number of rows. Okay, end on the same side as your beginning tail. I'm just making a sample, so mine measures about 10 inches. Okay, so that's before I stretch it. With the slip stitch ribbing, it actually has a lot of stretch. So this part is important because I get asked a lot about the number of rows someone should crochet. And although I do provide sometimes the gauge, everyone knits differently. Everyone crochets differently. Their tension is different, and sometimes it really matters which yarn you're using as well. So my best advice is to just measure it. So if I stretch this, it goes to about 15 inches, and I feel like that's the comfortable point. I can stretch it further, but that's going to really stretch that out. Okay, so this is where I'm comfortable with the stretch, so it's 15 inches. Okay, so now we're ready to join the brim. Okay, so you should have end on the same side as your tail. You're going to grab the tail end and match it to this end here where your hook is still attached. Okay, so these are my beginning foundation stitches. I'm going to insert my hook in the first stitch, and then on this side I'm going to insert through the back loop. Okay, I just pulled that apart so you can see it. You want to make sure it's tight. Yarn over and then pull through all of the loops. There's the first side, there's the second side, and then the loop on your hook. So you repeat that across, second stitch, through the back loop on the other side. Yarn over, pull through, through and through. Okay, I have one more stitch. Okay, so now you want to flip your brim inside out, and that is your seam right there. Okay, so now we're going to work the setup round. We're going to work single crochets around the edge of the brim so that we can work the body of the beanie. So let's go over where you will insert your hook. So right here I have 3 stitches. When you get to this row here, you're going to insert right in between the stitch. Okay, that's where you'll work your single crochets on these rows. Now on the rows down here, you're going to insert through this loop and this loop. So you want to insert through 2 loops. And when you get to this row again, you're going to insert right in between the stitches on top. So I have 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3. That's where you're going to insert your hook, right in between those stitches. Okay, let me show you again. When you get to the rows down here, here's 1 loop and another loop. If you can't get into the 2 loops in these rows, the rows that are below, then you can go right into the space. So right here, there's a sort of a space, but it's only 1 loop. It's easier to work into. So it's really more of a personal preference. Going through 2 loops will make your beanie more stable, but this is super bulky weight yarn. So if you want it to work right into the space right there, I think that would work fine as well. It just creates a bit of a hole right there. Okay, so for the slip stitch ribbing, I'm going to work 3 single crochets or 3 stitches for every 4 rows. So here is the start of my round. I'm going to work my first stitch here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 4 stitches there, but I'm only going to work 3. So I'm going to work 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to skip this one and start here again. 1, 2, 3. Skip this, 1, 2, 3. Okay. For this pattern, you want to make sure you crochet an even number of stitches. So chain 1. So for the first stitch, I'm going to insert it into the 3rd stitch, which is the top stitch right here, right in the center. And then yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 2. So place a stitch marker in the very first stitch. We're going to be working in a continuous round. Okay, next row right here, we're going to work the next stitch, inserting our hook through the top, making sure we get through 2 loops and work a single crochet. Okay, we're at this row here. So at the very top, it's kind of small here, I'm going to insert my hook right in the center and work 1 single crochet. So I said we're going to work 3 stitches for every 4 rows. So this is the 4th row. I'm going to skip that and start over here. So insert right into the top, work 1. Okay, next row, single crochet, and then the top of this row, 1 single crochet. Again, I'm going to skip the 4th row and then repeat around. Again, you do want an even number of stitches, so keep track of the number of stitches you have, and if you need an extra one, go ahead and work into one of the 4th rows that we skip. So I've worked all the way around, working 3 single crochet stitches for every 4 rows. So this is 1 row, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's how you count your rows. I'm at the end of my round and I have an even number of stitches. Okay, so now we're ready for round 1 of the Coastal Beanie pattern, and this is our first stitch. We're not going to join our round, we're going to work right into that first stitch. So I'm going to remove my marker, and into the first stitch you want to work 1 single crochet, chain 1 and 1 single crochet. So insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. Chain 1 and then 1 more single crochet into the same stitch. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. Okay, so we're going to skip the next stitch. Into the next stitch we're going to work the same stitch we did here. So 1 single crochet, chain 1, 1 single crochet. 1 single crochet, chain 1, and into the same stitch 1 single crochet, and skip the next stitch. Okay, so the repeat is 1 single crochet, chain 1 and 1 single crochet, and then skip 1, and then work your set of stitches here, skip 1. Okay, so repeat that all the way around. So I'm at the end of my round. I forgot to put my stitch marker here. This was my very first single crochet. So you should end with skipping the last stitch. Now for rounds 2, we're going to work into the chain 1 space. So here is our first single crochet. So this was our single crochet, chain 1 and single crochet. We skipped this stitch and we worked another set here. Okay, so there is this sort of bar here that it's not really visible on this side. Okay, so it's this bar here. It actually belongs to this single crochet. So your chain 1 is right under this stitch here. So that's where you will insert your hook, because every set has 1 single crochet, chain 1, 1 single crochet. So if you get lost, look at the stitches on top. To work into the chain 1, you're going to insert just under the chain 1 stitch here. So in every chain 1 space, we're going to work 1 single crochet, chain 1 and 1 single crochet. So insert your hook into the chain 1 space, 1 single crochet, chain 1, 1 single crochet. The next chain space, it's going to be right here. Here's my single, chain 1, single. So right into this space here, remember not to work to the left of this bar. So right in to the chain 1 space. Again, if you insert your hook right under these 2 loops here, you're in the right place. 1 single crochet, chain 1, 1 single crochet. So you're going to repeat that all the way around, working 1 single crochet, chain 1, and 1 single crochet in every chain 1 space. Okay, so now you just repeat round 2, working in every chain one space, 1 single crochet, chain 1, and 1 single crochet. You're going to continue that in a continuous round until you are happy with the height. Please refer to the pattern for the chart with information on where you should stop and start your decrease. You can move your stitch marker up as you work. Okay, so I am back at the beginning. I'm going to start decreasing. So this is the first set of stitches for this round. I'm going to start decreasing. So following the chart provided in the pattern, you'll measure from the bottom of the brim to about an inch or two above the crown to ear measurement, or ear to crown. So you can adjust your slouch by working more or less. So now I'm going to switch to a USK 6.5 millimeter crochet hook, and I'm going to work 2 rounds using the smaller hook size. So right into that first stitch, work your single crochet, chain 1, and single crochet. Again, we're working in the chain 1 space, into the next chain 1 space, right there. Whoops. And then keep repeating in a continuous round for 2 rounds. Once you work 2 rounds using the 6.5 millimeter crochet hook, you're going to switch to the USI 5.5 millimeter crochet hook and work 2 more rounds. Okay, so this is my first set of stitches from the last round. So I'm just going to continue for 2 rounds using this hook size. Okay, after 2 rounds of using the USI hook, we're going to start working our last round. So where we've been working the 1 single crochet, chain 1, 1 single crochet, right into the chain 1 space, we're going to now work single crochet 2 together. So we're going to work into the chain 1 space from this set here and the chain 1 space from this set. So insert your hook into the chain 1 space, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then you're going to insert your hook into the next chain 1 space, yarn over, pull up a loop. With 3 loops on your hook, you're going to yarn over and pull through all 3. In the next 2 chain 1 space, you're going to work your single crochet 2 together. So insert your hook into the next chain 1 space, yarn over, pull up a loop, into the next chain 1 space, yarn over, pull up a loop. Okay, so yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, and then you'll repeat that all the way around. And if you end up having just 1 set left, go ahead and just work 1 single crochet into any remaining chain 1 space. So I'm at the last set here. I'm about to complete my last single crochet 2 together. And then I'm just going to slip stitch to the next stitch. So really it can be any stitch. Okay, right into the next stitch, slip stitch. Okay, then you want to fasten off. So cut your yarn. Mine is already running out. Just pull it all the way through. Grab your tapestry needle. And now just weave it through the remaining stitches. So you may have more stitches left because this is just a very small sample. So just go ahead and weave back and forth through the remaining stitches on top. And then pull so that you can tighten that. And then insert your needle back into the inside. So we're just going to run this sort of in a crisscross just to make sure we close up the hole and that there's no gaps. If you want to have a more gradual decrease, you can do that too. Just work additional rounds with the smaller hooks. Okay, that looks pretty close to me. So I'm going to insert my needle halfway, and then wrap the needle with my yarn and pull through. Okay, and you can weave in your ends and weave in your beginning tail as well. Alright, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you are notified when I post new videos. I'll see you next time.